ramping up the festivities, as you can see, and here right now. So getting ready for this all-star mile, and nobody is looking forward to it with such excitement and maybe nervousness than the Hayes boys.
Let's put your hands together for Emily, Jared and Sammy.
Dear Mr. Brightside, a few years ago when our father David Hayes left to train in Hong Kong, the reins were handed over to JD and I, and later Will, a changing of the guard in many ways. We needed a horse to stand up and put Lindsay Park back on the map. We needed an all-star to emerge.
Mr. Brightside won by 5 lengths. Mr. Brightside going well. Mr. Brightside will win. Plenty of upside in Mr. Brightside. He'll make it 6 wins in a row.
We needed a horse to carry our famous colours to the heights of Group 1 glory.
Mr. Brightside takes the lead. Ice Bath runs on. Mr. Brightside for the Hayes boys wins it.
A day that I and everyone involved at Lindsay Park Racing will truly never forget.
Racing.
Little did we know that that was just the beginning of one magical ride.
Mr. Brightside in front, and Mr. Brightside has won the mile from Cascadia, the inevitable.
Our father has even likened you to a modern-day Better Loosen Up.
Better Loosen Up takes the lead. Better Loosen Up has won the Cox Plate.
And for anyone that knows our dad, now that's saying something. Your tenacious, fighting qualities were again on show in the second Doncaster win.
Mr. Brightside in front from my overrun. Mr. Brightside lifting and goes back to back.
As champions often do, you find a way to win. Time.
Mr. Brightside, a mile marvel. What a performance.
And time again.
Here he comes, Mr. Brightside over the top. He got up, Mr. Brightside. Pericles a length and a half off Mr. Brightside, but it's Mr. Brightside, and he's going to rack up another one.
Even in defeat, as narrow and heartbreaking as it was, you gave her absolutely everything.
Romantic Warrior, Mr. Brightside, still alligator blood. Mr. Brightside coming at it with Romantic Warrior. It's a photo finish. Romantic Warrior is going to get up by a nose.
So, how does one define an all-star? The dictionary says an outstanding or highly regarded performer within their field. Yep, that's our Mr. Brightside, all right. You've given us our first Group 1 win as training siblings. You've provided your many owners with so much joy and a few hangovers as well. Thank you, Mr. Brightside, for putting Lindsay Park well and truly back on the map. Yours sincerely, Ben, JD and Will Hatz. Good luck today, champ.
Does sum it up so brilliantly, so a great illustration of what the horse has meant to the boys and to their team at Euroa now. Lindsay Park, of course, born in the Barossa Valley of South Australia with Ben's grandfather, C.S. Colin Hayes. But he's a wonderful horse. He's their champion, and here are the boys. They are the best ambassadors. We've got plenty of them in racing, and these, well, there are 3 of them, but these couple are right up there with the best. So what about for the hoops today? What does it mean? Well, Jamie Carr has already won one of these, and she's got 3 consecutive Group 1s going into this in 3 consecutive weeks. Craig Williams didn't ride Mr. Brightside last year in the race. He's won 14 races on him. He'd love to get this one. Can Declan Bates and Pride of Jenny keep up their incredible run? No, Cantala winner has won an all-star mile. And what about these guys? Between them, they've only got 1 win in Victoria. They've hardly had a ride, but 9 New Zealand derbies. And could Celine or Linda on her left, could they join Jamie as female jockeys that have won the all-star mile? Just some of the stories associated with this race that carries so much in prize money. And Richo, a big race needs a big horse, and we're looking at one now.
And there's been a lot of discussions about the quality of this field, the fact we haven't got a full field, and this is probably the reason why. Because this guy has scared a lot of them off, because he is the champ. He deserves to be a short price favourite. He is absolutely foolproof. It's as simple as that. But I think today, with a level of pressure, that an old boy is a better betting proposition in Cascadian. I'd rather have something each way on him. Loved his run last start, and I think he can track into the race, and the way the track's playing, I think he can run some sort of a race. Bruce, there's so much speed in the race. I interviewed Sarah Ryan during the week. She said, don't worry, we're going to go forward with the tractable. We could lead. I said, you're going to need to be quick to be able to lead Pride of Jenny and Buffalo River. Well, we're going to go forward and make sure it's quick.
Big dance winner. This is a big dance in its own right. Munamek, Ollie, of course, the Gold Rush and all of that. What a wonderful horse he's been for his connections, for Nick Ryan, for Clint Hutchison, etc., for the Founds family. But he'll run well. He's a massive odds. He's a good horse. I thought Dom DeShoot was pretty good at Caulfield, Richo. I'm not completely discounting him today.
I feel pretty happy about that because he's my best roughie in the race, Bruce. I 100% agree with you. I thought he ran really well first up behind Mr. B. So he's got a lot to turn around, and that's why he's the big price that he is. Consider him, trifectas and first fours. The mile will really suit Celine Gaudray. Hasn't she been brilliant, Bruce, when she's jumped on board this guy? He loves working with her. She will bowl along. My gut feel, though, he's better at 1,400 metres as opposed to a mile. I think he gets tested at a mile at this grade, so I'm taking a little set against him. There's EJ, the trainer of number 7 in Pinstripe, with Ben Allen taking the ride. The Winkers go on today. First up from a spell, straight to a mile. We know he's effective at. Element of quality about him. He's tested, though, against Mr. Brightside. Bruce, how do you line up the New Zealanders?
It's hard. This is the better of them for sure, no doubt about that. He was second in the Guineas. He ran in the Derby, didn't stay. He's won at Karaka. He's won the Captain Cook. He was beaten as a favourite last up. There were excuses. He's high quality, I reckon. I don't think he can win, but I think he's the 3rd, 4th or 5th best chance. Jamie there with Mick Price. Ayrton, she's a favourite with him. He's going well. Is he good enough in a tough mile? Doubtful, but Richo, he's going not quite as well as he was maybe in that early stages, but he's getting back.
Yeah, I agree with that, and he's been well supported throughout the week. I think the punters keep looking at the speed map and keep thinking that he might end up having the drop on the leaders. The second of the Kiwis, and I do have him a step behind Desert Lightning. Craig Grills, who of course steered Orchestral to that wonderful win in the Derby. Well, Holly Mance is the one that we can get a lead in, Bruce. He's not a Group 1 horse in Australia at weight for age, is he? Yet somehow he measured up in New Zealand, though 10 lengths behind Desert Lightning.
Yeah, no, look, I think he's at about his right price. He's going well. He's a good horse, but it would be a surprise. No surprise if this filly mare were to win. She really announced herself on this day last year by running second at odds in the Group 1 Coolmore Classic and then had the most incredible spring. Nick, how short is he? In 40 cents. We've never had an odds on favourite. For favourites, they won the first one and they won with Zaki, so 2 of the 5. Lizzie?
Look, I think it's all about the way that the race is run. Pride of Jenny, if she's ridden and given a little bit of a breather at the top of the straight, I think she's going to prove very, very tough to get past. I have all the respect for Mr. Brightside. I hope he wins for the boys, but the way I looked at Pride of Jenny when I saw her first up in the CF4, I think she is really cooking with gas this prep.
I don't know about you, Rich. I feel we'll get the market mover, Nick, from Sportsbet.
Yeah, it's number 8 here, Desert Lightning, Bruce, 26 into $17. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number that was on the screen or visit the website.
Thanks for that, Nick. Desert Lightning is the market mover. I feel like there's a lot at stake, Richo, and it's all around Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, it certainly is. Pride of Jenny, the way the track's playing, it seems like the inside just cutting out a touch. Will Declan Bates keep off that rail and come to the centre of the track? It's going to be a cracker, the All-Star Mile.
Star Mile 6 about to get underway, and they're racing, and Puntura anticipated the start and got a flyer early, the Kiwi, with a tractable the inside. Pride of Jenny is pushing up. Ayrton isn't too far away, and where's Buffalo River at this stage? About 7th and looking to force forward. Pride of Jenny using plenty of the track. A tractable led with 1,200 metres to go, but Pride of Jenny is going to take over and lead. Buffalo River, as it usually does, is surging up, and Desert Lightning is going to get the 1-1 in 4th place. A length and a half, Holy Mans and Puntura. They were followed by midfield, Dom DeShoot 3 wide around Ayrton, pinstriped. A length Mr. Brightside, who's third last. Dragged back from gate 11. 2.5 lengths, Munamek and Cascadian last. Pride of Jenny, they've run it hard. 850 metres to go by 2 lengths to Buffalo River, a brutal tempo. 3 further back, Attractable, a length and a quarter. Desert Lightning niggled at. They were followed by Holy Man's Puntura. Then came Dom to Shoot, pinstriped Ayrton. Mr. Brightside would be at least 15 off the lead, maybe 20. 2 further back in the field, Munamek and Cascadian. So it's Pride of Jenny coming up towards the corner at the 400 metres. 2 lengths in front. From in second place, Buffalo River in its slipstream. 4 lengths away, Holy Man's, and then came Attractable, pinstripe. Mr. Brightside brought to the outside. 7 or 8 off Pride of Jenny, who still paddles in front, but we know she keeps going at the 200. Pride of Jenny, 3 lengths Buffalo River. Now Mr. Brightside and Cascadian coming, but it's still Pride of Jenny. 100 to go. There's no stopping her. What a performance. Pride of Jenny wins by 2 lengths, Mr. Brightside, Cascadian. She has run them into the ground. They were followed by Buffalo River, Ayrton, Dom to Shoot, Holy Man's, Desert Lightning, pinstriped. Munamek, Attractable, and Puntura has finished last of all.
The raw emotion of it all. So Australian racing has a new star, Jenny from the block, all right. She is on the dais. She's a Group 1 winner twice. She's the first to win a Cantala, the big mile, in the spring in Victoria, and then win the big mile in the autumn, the All-Star, under the same conditions. Magnificent today. Mr. Brightside, super. Cascadian. To be truthful, it was a 3 All-Star mile today, or a 3-star mile. And 1, 2 and 3 really fit the bill.
Certainly do, and we have to mention Sharon Whitehead, who's on the screen there. She's the owner ambassador for Pride of Jenny. She's a pharmacy assistant. She has won $100,000. She is a really big racing fan, and she was so excited. She wanted to draw Pride of Jenny, and that's exactly who she was able to draw. But she's as tough a horse as I've seen. I've spoken about how tough she is, Bruce, and to see her perform and those sectionals was outstanding.
Richo Vo Rogue, I mean, I know so different, but don't we love a front runner? This was remarkable again today. This was her best.
She is just simply so tough, Bruce, isn't she? The mare by Pride of Dubai, and it was on this day that she showed the sort of level of pain tolerance she has when she led at an unbelievable tempo in a Coolmore Classic to be just run down. Oh, she was so tough today. And Declan Bates, that is a brilliant ride, Bruce. He stayed away from that inside. He said, I don't want to go near it. Brightside, the mighty Mr. Brightside, runs second. Cascadian, well, in a couple of weeks' time, he'll be hard to beat in an Australian Cup. He runs third, but it was dominated by Kieran Maher, Declan Bates, and the Atobre family. Of course, Tony naming all his horses after his late daughter, Jenny. Well, she is the pride of Jenny, this girl.
She was magnificent, Richard, no question. Mr. Brightside loses no admirers. He was absolutely wonderful, the first defending champion to come back. And Sharon there, and Cascadian, that's what he does. He's just a really good horse. One of the things that'll be interesting, I know, Richo, you can hear me. I know they were thinking about getting her to 2,000 metres. They're really keen. I spoke to Tony at a lunch recently for Athletics Australia, and they were very keen to try this filly at 2,000 metres, and I think the Australian Cup might be on their agenda, Richo. So massive performance today, so all to play out, mate.
Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't she be uber competitive in that? Kieran Maher's walking alongside her, and as soon as he walks in, I'll grab him to get his thoughts in regards to the pride of Jenny, who was extraordinary, winning the All-Star Mile. Kieran, congratulations. The perfect plan was executed, and Declan did the rest. What a ride too.
Yeah. Geez, she's just thrilling to watch, isn't she? Yeah, unbelievable. I was very, very confident coming into the race, but, going into a race like that, Brightside's coming off, a couple of Group 1 wins, but super. I think the team have done a fantastic job, obviously. Jack runs Adrian, Sammy Strapper, Brendan McCarthy does a lot of chiropractic work on her as well, and you know, every little thing goes into having her being able to run those sectionals and keep running. And she's actually a phenomenal horse. To Tony and Lynn, you know, I think they got a good chance in a Group 1 in Sydney shortly as well. So hopefully it's a big day, but it's a big day anyway. You know, she's just unbelievable, and her next start, she's got a number of options. Yeah, great problems to have.
Mate, you've won the biggest races in this part of the world, but this one looks like it means something really special to you.
Yeah, just she's a special horse. You know, cheers, mate. Well, you know, when they just don't get horses that can run those times. Yeah, she's unbelievable.
Mate, being a dad softened you up, champion.
Yeah, oh well, Eliza Ellis, there you go.
It was mentioned whether or not you would consider cracking her up to 2,000 metres and giving them something to chase in a race like the Australian Cup. Would you do that?
Yeah, well, Tony was very keen to run in the Cox Plate last year, but the prep just didn't work out that way. So, yeah, we'll digest it all. But, yeah, Australia Cup might be next on the cards, but whatever, she's in great order. She's going to run well in whatever you put her in.
Emotional father of the year. Well done, champion.
Cheers.
So I think he summed it up best. Thrilling. That's what she's absolutely breathtaking to watch.
Yeah, when I saw her in the yard for the CF4 Stakes, I said, gee, she's come back even better. And that was well documented. They said she put on 50 kilos in her break. And that run that she was able to put up first up was incredible. But also the training performance that we've seen from Kieran, to be able to save her for this race, a month between runs, she takes her racing quite hard because of what she does. She's absolutely thrilling. I said there's no way she can carry on at that speed. I didn't want him to ride her so positively, but they know what they're doing, and Declan, he takes the chances and it's all paid off.
Luck of the Irish, eh? Mr. Brightside, terrific. Cascadian to Buffalo River with Celine again. She's had 9 rides on him for 7 times in the placings, and that 4th today. But look, Vorogue did this all these years ago. We've had front runners in the past, but he's the one that really jumps at most of us at weight for age. She hasn't done it for as long. We know that. But, Richo, you're with the owner and the ambassador. Sharon's over the moon, isn't she?
Oh, Sharon, can you believe this unbelievable journey? Just won $100,000.
I'm just blown away. Blown away. Like I said to you, our holiday will definitely be... We'll be definitely doing our dream holiday, that's for sure. A big party at our house. I'm just blown away. I'm so blown away. You know, prior to Jenny, she just strutted around here like, I've got this. This is all good. I'm going to, this is easy. And as soon as I saw her coming down, I was like, just hang on, hang on, hang on. My legs were shaking. Oh, my heart was in my mouth. I shut my eyes for the last bit. I was like, just please.
Wait, Jace, come over here, mate. Don't be shy. Get off the phone. Get off the phone. You don't need to be texting
family.
everyone.
It's all PA.
Yeah, come on.
It's all our family.
What was her emotions like 200 metres out?
Oh, terrible. Probably better than mine, actually. You probably heard me. I was on the corner. I was like, she's not going to get chased down. And Bryce, I was like 3 back deep. I was like, nah, we got this chance. And I was going, Shaz, come on. Gold.
What an incredible moment, mate, for you and for your family. This is what dreams are made of.
Unbelievable. Honestly, unbelievable. I'm ecstatic. I can't breathe.
Mother of all parties, apparently.
And the mother of all parties will happen.
Spend it wisely, and Bruce McAvaney wants you to invite him to the party. He reckons it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he more than welcome.
There you go, Bruce. You're hosting a small fee for you.
On him, of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well done.
God,
Great
thank you.
You're the best agent a bloke's ever had, Richo. Thank you. And that's what you want to bottle. That's what Racing Victoria has to bottle. They know that. That's what can make this a special event. It's how all those other ingredients can come together. Because you know what? You look at the 1, 2, 3s there. They're horses of the highest quality and bringing out the emotion in Sharon here with Jason and all of those.
And that's all of the other owner ambassadors that are greeting her. So they've really created this connection and community. And Sharon, well, you're at the party then, the after party.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to all of of that. The Coolmore Classic, it's got such a history. It's that handicap Group 1 for fillies and mares. It's unique in Australian racing.
First run in 1973, Coolmore Classic over 1,500 metres at Rosehill was introduced by the old STC to add a big fillies and mares race to the calendar.
Racing now in the Coolmore.
Now a Group 1, it's been a stunning success with an honour roll that includes Bounding Away and Typhoon Tracy.
Remains unbeaten. Typhoon Tracy from Culminate and Gallant.
Neville Begg's 6-time Group 1 winning mare Emancipation carried 60 kilos in 1984, a feat twice matched by Hall of Famer Sunline in 2000 and 2002.
Sunline, she does it again. She wins a second Coolmore and 9 million. She's topped in prize money.
Max Lees has trained the most winners with 5, including race record holder Shindig in 1998.
Shindig at 100 miles an hour. She's come from near last and blows them away. Shindig wins the Coolmore.
But Gay Waterhouse drew level when she won her 5th Coolmore Classic with Conti Batiro in 2020.
Nicely clearing the Coolmore Classic, and Conti Batiro goes on to win it.
Katie McDonald taking us through the history there of the Coolmore Classic. And look at Gay, really interesting, those 3-year-old fillies. There was a domination for a while because she's got a 3-year-old filly today who's already won 2 Group 1 races. So can Gay win yet another Coolmore Classic with a filly? So what about the jockeys today? James McDonald hasn't won one of these, but he gets to 90 Group 1s if he wins with the favourite. He's the top jockey in Australia without doubt. Michael D, the defending champion, comes up to ride a horse that's absolutely flying for the Snowdens. Tim Clark's got a couple. Can he win a third here and win for Gay and Adrian with Tropical Squall, that filly? And what about Rachel, back from Japan, where she absolutely knocked them over, rides Renaissance Woman, not without a chance. And Dylan Gibbons and Zach Boyd, we haven't had an apprentice since 1979 win the race. Could they be the first since then? And could Zach get that first Group 1 win? So up to $1 million from 600,000, so $1 million in prize money. We're going to start with Revolutionary Miss. She's got a tough draw, but she comes from some very good form in Victoria.
Well, not only that, she is in scintillating form, and that's probably what's going to hold her in such good stead. I also think that it's interesting that Mickey D gave up a book of rides in Victoria to make sure he came up and stayed with this mare, and he's going to be able to ride her at the 55.5 kilos. The 3 Samana, I think this could be potentially the horse that we're talking about after this race. She's run really well on the Gold Coast in the Magic Millions Cup. She won the Triscay. But the way that they've been riding her with a bit of a sit and patiently has been the best performance that she's put in these 3 runs that I've seen of her. So she's the smoky in the race. Vienna Princess, well, she's another one who's got a tremendous turn of speed.
Karen McAvoy's got a great record on this filly. She ran so well in the spring. She won that Silver Eagle competitive in other big races. She's come back well. Karen's talked earlier today with Emma Freedman about her first up run. It was absolutely excellent. Hinge ran 3rd in this race 2 years ago, was 8th in this race last year. It's been a long time since she's won.
Yeah, well, I reckon she would have felt like she won last when she was outbobbed by the same colours in Hell Hath No Fury. Yes, it has been a long time between drinks, but she's got a great racing style. She puts herself not too far off the speed. She's got a sticky draw, which is going to be her biggest downfall, along with this 2-time Group 1 winner, Bruce. What are they going to do from that gap?
Well, they go forward and they hope that Deny Knowledge doesn't want to lead, because if she gets an easy lead, then perhaps she can slow them down a little. She needs to get to the front, I think, without having to do too much work. And Deny Knowledge is probably the key. And this is Deny Knowledge because we know that she's a powerful front runner. And if they're determined to lead, it will mess up Tropical Squall.
And I think from the gate, you would expect her to kick up and go across. It's just whether there's enough speed inside of her, or outside, I should say, Deny Knowledge, to keep Tropical Squall out. So it's a very tactical race. Well, we've seen Foxy Frida, who's performed brilliantly last preparation, winning the English Bracelet, which is a race that you can win and you can definitely capitalise on. She's at the double figure odds. She's drawn okay. Billy Egan in the saddle, Andrew Noblet trains. She's a really nice looking type. Along with this mare, I've got a lot of time for her, Madame Pomeroy.
She was your one to watch, remember, after the Millie Fox?
Yeah, and then she drew awkward. She's a very good filly. She's had a few barrier issues, which they seem to have got on top of, apart from that tiny little scare last time out in the Millie Fox Stakes. She, again, is drawn off the track, so it's a hard task for her. It was great to see Yonks back into the winner's circle. What I want to know, Bruce, is do you think that that's the right form reference for this?
Well, doubtful. Coming back from 600, and was it a strong enough race? Smallish field, but she's got a great strike rate. She's won 7 out of 10, and she's in the right stable. That's for sure and certain. Barbie's Fox at right odds. Hell Hath No Fury was a late nomination for the Guy Walter. It turned out to be an absolute beautiful thing.
Yes, it did, and I think that, like, thinking about it, it was sort of a horse that went ahead of expectation. So again, I feel like this is a really tough task for her, but she's in good form, and it was great to see her get her nose down at the right time. More secrets. She's drawn a bit softer. She's got 51.5 kilos.
She was third in the Queen of the Turf last year at any old odds. So that's, the same type of races as except weight for age, but at the same level, maybe a fraction even higher in some ways. Richo, you're still there. Jenny Lala, this would be something, wouldn't it, for the stable and the owner?
Wouldn't it be incredible? And Kieran Maher, in our post-race interview, was very quick to talk about the fact that Jenny Lala is a live chance. And why? Because this is a handicap, and she gets in with 51 kilos. And then we get to Komochi, this really talented young filly. Can she measure up with only 50.5 kilo and provide Zach Lloyd with his first ever Group 1? After she won the light fingers, I'd say she can measure up.
And here's our first look at Zagotcha, Lizzie.
Well, she was just terrific last start. I had a little bit of doubt on how she was going to return, but in the Millie Fox she was excellent, and I just think James gets the perfect run in transit. Drawn, a soft draw, he can put her wherever he wants to put her, and we all know how talented she is. She just needed to tick that box first up.
Absolutely. Ben, they're always great betting races. Handicaps, we will get back to you on that. There is Samana, as we have a look now at Renaissance Woman.
Look, pick of the yard, Bruce. I was with Samana. I thought that she looked excellent. She is a little bit up and about in the yard, but just on a price point of view, I'm going to stick with her. I do think if you're on Zugotcha, which I've had something on Zugotcha and I've had something on Samana as well, I think she looks outstanding. So if I could join two together, that's exactly what I would be doing. She looks $1 million Zugotcha.
In a race like this, you are entitled to do that. Richo, you've been incredible today with your tipping. What about the Group 1, the $1 million Coolmore Classic?
I know only 2 fillies have won the Millie Fox Coolmore Classic double, Daisy Doom and also Chlorophyll, but I think Zugotcha can do it. I've got so much confidence, Bruce, in a theory that you've taught me a lot, and that is the way that Chris Waller looks after these 4-year-old mares and just takes them and develops them from 3-year-old fillies to 4-year-old mares, and then we'll see her again to develop further. I just think the way that she returned and defeated Lady Laguna, if she runs up to that performance, she can win the race. But I think her stablemate might be the big danger, and that is Vienna Princess. I'm sure that she can get a sweet passage from the gate that Karen McAvoy has drawn. She might be close enough to storm late over the top.
So from Richo, Chris Waller having such a strong hand will go to Ben Wayne. I think he might be backing that up with a hot horse for the Coolmore Classic.
Definitely am. Still a tick over 40% going the way of Zugotcha. It's just got out of touch, but our traders must just be keen to get a little bit out of this girl as opposed to the rest. So I think the backing for her is as much a story as Tropical Squall and Komochi. We cannot write a ticket for them.
Favourite has not won the race since 2011. It's been a long time since the favourites won Aloha. It's a race that can often get a 20-1 winner. It's just deep. These races are deep. There's lots of fillies and mares that are absolutely treated like a grand final. We've got 5 races in Australia for fillies and mares that are Group 1. And this was the original one in terms of being Group 1. It's the longest of the Group 1s and the only one that is run under the handicap conditions. The other 4 are the Empire Rose and the Queen of the Turf, the Robert Sangster in South Australia, and the Winter Stakes or Tats Tiara up in Queensland. So it's always been terrific race. It's like a mini Doncaster for fillies and mares, don't you think, in many ways?
It is, and it always throws up a very good horse when you think of Espiona, who was able to take out the race last year under Michael D. Chris Waller, who has also been able to place his horses to effect. But you look at other leading trainers, and Max Lees has had the 5 wins in the race. Gay Waterhouse has had 5 wins, including one with Adrian Bott, Bart Cummings and Ron Quinton with the 4. We know that Ron Quinton was very dominant with his 2 mares, Daisy Doom and, of course, Dixie Blossoms back in 2019 and 2018.
We've had some beauties win at Emancipation, went into the Hall of Fame late last year, but the one that stands out is Sunline. She won the race twice, and she carried the grandstand when she won the race on both occasions, 60 kg.
Would you think that Sunline is a bit like Pride of Jenny, who loves to roll up on speed, that tough, brawny,
a little similar,
mare?
A little similar, but not quite as brutal, but similar. But Sunline was something else again, wasn't she? But no, that's an interesting comparison, but certainly Vo Rogue's the one that sort of comes to mind in that period before Sunline. So 4 or 5 to come up. Richo, final thought from you for the Coolmore Classic, the $1 million Group 1.
Victorian Barbie's Doll with Jerome Hunter. The other Victorian Barbie's Fox in the darker green and black checks there. Now this is Madame Pommery moving in, the blindfold on there to just try and keep her calm. She was very buzzed up in the gates here a couple of weeks ago. And here's Tropical Squall moving in, the Surround Stakes winner. She's drawn the outside barrier, looking for a 3rd Group 1 success, Tropical Squall. The lighters on the Coolmore Classic field are ready to go. Zugotcha, barrier 2, the heavily back favourite. Set now. Starter about to release the field and does so now. They're off and racing. Tropical Squall clearly best out from the outside draw. And she looks like making the running here from Revolutionary Miss and Jenny Lala pushing forward as Tropical Squall crosses down to the rails. They're followed by Denied Knowledge, Komochi out deep. Then Zugotcha settling 6th. In advance of Samana in the orange cap. Further back to Yonsei in the early stages from Hinge. Then came Barbie's Doll on the outside, a Renaissance Woman. Then followed by Hell Hath No Fury, Vienna Princess. More Secrets back on the rails from Barbie's Fox, 3rd last. Then Madame Pommery and Foxy Frida's last of all. Tropical Squall led. Revolutionary Miss goes to 2nd at the 800 metres. Jenny Lala with a sit on the inside of Denied Knowledge. And Komochi caught deeper out. They're followed by Zugotcha, plonked down on the rails on the inside of Samana and hinged on a 3-wide path with cover. 2 lengths further back to Yonsei on the rails from Renaissance Woman. Barbie's Doll hard at it out wide. Further back to Vienna Princess. More Secrets as they straighten up now. And Tropical Squall looking for another Group 1 success, revved up. Tropical Squall at the 300 from Revolutionary Miss. Zugotcha's out now, closing off. Then came Komochi. Samana winding up on the outside. Tropical Squall shows the way from Zugotcha. Wide out is Samana running home hard, and Samana moved up with Zugotcha. They're wide apart. Zugotcha near the inside of Samana. Zugotcha got the Coolmore. Zugotcha won at a neck to Samana, and close up Hinged and also Komochi. Then Tropical Squall, Jenny Lala. Further back, Renaissance Woman from Yonsei, Foxy Frida, Revolutionary Miss. Then More Secrets, Hell Hath No Fury, Deny Knowledge, Vienna Princess, Barbie's Fox, Madame Pommery. Zugotcha.
Yeah, Zugotcha, Noel Grinoff and their team and those colours. James McDonald wins a first Coolmore Classic, gets to 90 Group 1 winners. 90 Group 1 winners, and Chris Waller 157. He hadn't won one until last year, Chris. He doesn't like only winning one of them. Great race. He rode her magnificently. He got the right runs. She was headed, no doubt, by Samana for a bit of the straight. She was so strong under a big weight late.
Oh, she was brilliant, wasn't she? I've never seen her look as good as she possibly looked today, and that was just a great ride, a great performance from a mare who is in terrific form. Spare a thought for 2nd and 3rd, though, Bruce.
No.
Dylan Gibbons and Zach Lloyd chasing down the big dog in town, and that's how it all ended up in the end. Both great performances. Samana was brilliant, so was Komochi. I have to give it to Tropical Squall from that outside gate. going across like that with all that energy that was burnt early on and still to be able to run in the top 5 placings has to be a very, very credible effort.
Emma, you're with a genius. Chris Waller's his name.
Oh, she's back, baby, and she's back in a big way. A mare in form. What a great performance to grind down that front runner.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, very rewarding. Simple as that. Yeah.
Last preparation, we spoke about it at her last win in the Millie Fox, how the Everest prep didn't really suit her, but you got to keep these mares happy.
You do. Yeah. Yeah, we tried to make a sprint, and she just wasn't quite that type of model. But put her in a few extra 100 metres, and that's the difference. Brilliant first up, and carried the top weight in a good field today and beat them.
So another Group 1 next to her name, and I can see it means a lot. Is there another one still left in her for the rest of the prep?
She would probably progress to a Doncaster if she gets too much weight. Via re-handicap, we'd go to the Fillies and Mares race on the last day, which would be easier than a Doncaster.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So a couple of plans there, Plan A and Plan B, they're both pretty good. He's brilliant, McDonald, isn't he? He just had the perfect run and then got to the right part of the track, got everything he wanted, and then had to, Richo, hang on for dear life because they were coming, weren't they?
Oh, they certainly were. That was a brilliant ride, James McDonald, because Bruce, I think about 600 metres out, it must have gone through his mind, do I sneak up the inside of Tropical Squall? Do I go to the inferior part of the track? But then and what he's been able to do is get over the heels of those in front, but never lose momentum. He's just exquisite to watch. He's just a jockey of our generation that'll go down as an absolute great. He'll go down as a legend of Australasian racing.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So we have singing his praises. We keep doing that, and why not? 1-3-17, Komachi, amazing. Wide all the way, Tropical Squall, terrific. So the three fillies run 3rd and 4th in the high point of what's been a fantastic day so far. Well done to you, J Mac. And what about Caulfield today? Well, we knew she was really, really, really good. You know what? She's great. That's what she is. Might and Power's another one to think of. Shouldn't have forgotten that big beast, should I? About horses that can get out in front and break your heart.